I still have my pass and do need to get going there more. So if there's anybody that is joining in and or listens to this later, reach out to me if you have a pass and we'll plan. How about planning a real brokerage day at Magic Mountain? That would be fun. I think that would be really cool to do. We could have it be a combination of family and real brokerage picnic. So that would be awesome. So thank you all for joining. This is Working Your Sphere and Your Farm, and working that farm as a sphere so that you can work on building your business up. So we have a few people that have joined in, Rose, Lee, Tracy, Jennifer, Dana, and of course, always our support team at the Real Academy. So thank you all for being here today. So it's, the mid-year time period, time to, evaluate what you've done the first part of the year and evaluate what your plans are for the rest of the year. And so I did ask Jennifer if she would mind being in a deeper discussions and talk about building her sphere through the farm area that she chose about a year ago. And she's had a lot of different activities that she has coordinated there. And so we're going to do a quick review of that and talk more about what she's going to do the next couple months and how that correlates to working your sphere. So, and welcome all of our guests. Patsy, good to see you here. Welcome to Working Your Sphere. So, hey, Jennifer.
Hey, Cyndi.
Hi there. Thank you for joining us today.
Of course. Thank you for always having this meeting. It always gets me fired up to, go ahead and put those goals into action and get started. So to recap on working with my farm, I did a Kona Ice event. That is a snow cone van that I hired for the neighborhood. So a month before, I door dropped some flyers that said save the date for Kona Ice. And then as it got closer, I sent another group of postcards out and with the more information. And I had about 40 neighbors come by and handed out free Kona Ice. And then I had another event in October for Halloween and fall, gave away pumpkins. Bought, how many did I buy? 50 pumpkins at Walmart. The big size,
so.
Not like the little teeny tiny ones.
Go big or go home.
Right, exactly. And at that time in October, I was listing a property. So I showed the property and also had pumpkin painting. I had a raffle giveaway. And what else? Oh, I had a taco truck. So I gave out tacos, promoted the property, got to know the neighbors, and about 50 people came out to that event. And every month I try to reach out somehow, some way to the neighbors after the property sold in the neighborhood. I sent out, sold flyers to all the neighbors, and I knocked on their doors and talked to each one of them. And then I did a spring. I did a postcard that I also door knocked. It had little flower seeds attached and a cute little phrase like, if you're ready to get growing, I'll help you find your next home, something like that. And so it's those, I can't remember all of them, but I really do try to, you know, drop or knock. And I also mail a newsletter there every month. So a newsletter with the recipe and real estate information and just different tips and tricks for each, you know, season, as well as knocking and dropping. So moving to now, I think I'm going to do another Kona Ice event and also drop off some door hangers with my card and maybe a market update. So that's kind of my plans for the next 3 months to, you know, keep in contact with the neighbors and, you know, be top of mind.
Yeah.
Yes.
And those are all like collectively, it was very planned out, strategic, and done around one of the listings that you've had. One of the key things is also because we are talking about working your sphere, is, you know, sometimes agents are new in the business and they don't feel that they have that sphere to really connect with and people to stay in front of. And so, you know, one of the things that you said at the end there is that now you're doing the monthly newsletter that you're sending out to that community, but you've also worked on gathering the right to have email addresses and contact information of people in that community. So they went from just being people that lived in the neighborhood to now people that you knew, got to know a little bit from your events. And then as you grew through this process, starting to be more comfortable asking for their information to stay in touch with them. And part of that was, I think one of the things you mentioned was your giveaway as to collecting their information if they were able to win something at an event. Was that one of the ways that you tried to collect information?
Yes, that's right. For the giveaway, you needed to sign in, put your name, your phone number, and your email, and that was a way for me to collect, you know, phone numbers and emails. And then I later sent out a bomb email to them, thanking them for coming out to the event. And I was excited to, yeah, do another one. Yeah. So it was a great way for me. Now they, you know, they know me and they see me around and, you know, they're getting familiar and comfortable. Yeah.
Yes, that's good. And so, with the next events that you plan on doing, do any of those involve trying to build up more of your connections in the community in your sphere? Uh, Sorry, your little helper is there with you right now.
I apologize. Yes.
No, hey, you know what?
My
When
son is
you're a
back.
mom and school is still, you know, out of session, it's a
Right.
matter of juggling that. No worries.
Yes, never fails. I say, okay, I'm gonna do a quick meeting. You know, play some video games, call your friends. Nope.
Yes, right when they want
Gotta
you
tap my
all the
shoulder.
more.
Right. Um, but so moving forward, what was your question again with the
So
neighbors?
moving forward with working your farm and trying to build your database up with people that will grow to know you, like you, and want to use you, provided you stay in front of them. How are you working on building that database up? Like in these next events, what things are you going to do to build more connections?
I think with continuing doing another event, hoping maybe I'll see the same neighbors, maybe I'll see new neighbors. So being consistent, always being consistent, I guess this time around, maybe be slightly more aggressive with asking if I can have their contact information and
Mhm.
seeing how that goes. I see how the conversation goes and feel them out. Uh, and I hand out my card and flyers. They have my information, but I really like to from that farm. So I want to just be a little more aggressive in getting their information each
Yeah,
time. Yeah.
I think
Just
that'll be important. And then also, what about, since it is um, a timing that you're planning on doing, this next event is just at the time they're going to be going back to school. So if you could get some baskets together that they can have school supplies, maybe
yeah.
do a little item that you would give to each person that comes there, but also a bigger basket of things that if you submit your name, home address, email, phone number, you have the ability to win this $300 value basket, and
Yeah.
get them to submit that way. But knowing that still, just by getting their right and the information for that, it's all about developing that stronger trust and relationship. So the one thing you were saying of consistency, of staying in front of them, and maybe there will be repeat people that come to this event. So even, if they're already in your database, but they're giving you that updated information, that's going to help you stay more connected with them as well.
Right. Yeah.
So
Yeah. And I love that idea. It's, August, back to school. People hate shopping for back to school supplies and everything goes, you run out of things pretty quickly in the stores. So having some back to school supplies that would help out um, certain families and do a giveaway. I think that's a great idea.
yeah.
Yeah.
Perfect. Good. And so also, though, that's an event that will be happening in a month from now. So
Right.
that just takes you into August. So it's going to be important to really be looking in advance as to what does the rest of the year look for you. I don't know if you've thought that far out yet. Is that something you've been kind of contemplating, what else you can do the rest of the year to stay in front of the homeowners there?
Yeah. Yes. So with that event, I have other events that I can plan for winter or Christmas time. And then, for fall, um, there's a company that has a little coffee stand. I think maybe I could do something like that, or hot
Oh,
cocoa for the winter time. And still stay connected to the neighbors, while, giving out coffee or cocoa or other pop by gifts. And so I have all kinds of ideas to continue. And then in between, the bigger events, send market update flyers and, you know, postcards and things like that, along with the newsletter, just to keep in front of them, and then
yes,
use the bigger events for getting a deeper connection with each individual. Yeah.
perfect. Yeah, I think that sounds like a great progression for you of
Right.
continuing with those things. And
Hmm.
it's perseverance, it's getting to be known in a neighborhood that you had some connection with before, and so just staying in touch with the people in that community and what you're going to do to stay in front of them. Whenever you're working on building your sphere and building that confidence level of people that may have known you but didn't know you were a realtor, may have not known you but now know you as the realtor that's doing things in the community. You have to remain consistent. Most realtors start to give up right when things could start to have a nice flow of things. It's not something that happens overnight. You were blessed to have one listing in the community. So now it's a matter of, building that up, that you'll start to be the agent for that community, and, evaluating other ways to create value to them that doesn't just have to do with their neighborhood. But one of the things some people listening may not be familiar with, but in our area, we do have a new home center that we co-op with other agents. And so Jen is part of the new home center. And with that, Jen, you could lean into sharing information with that community, since it's an older community, and maybe do some type of touch that is like, here's the CMA value for your home. If you were interested in trading into a brand new home, this is something that you could get into at this value, and showing them a financial adjustment of their home, the new home, and what that could do for their current living arrangements. Have you thought about combining that with that area?
Yes, I have thought about that. I did with one of the things I dropped off, with the just sold flyers, I also gave out a flyer for these new condos in 5 Point. Just wrote on there, this is a sample of what's selling in 5 Point, call me for details. So I've done that, but I think the CMA is a great idea, or some sort of breakdown of if they sold their house and they purchased new construction, what those payments would look like versus what they have in a mortgage now. So that's another great idea to kind of push into.
Yeah. Even if you started with, say right now you feel confident that you have 25 of the homeowners' full contact information that you could really work with, and just working on doing for the next 5 weeks, 5 CMAs for each week, break it down until you get through the 25 people that you have all of their information. Do that CMA for them, and then also combine with that CMA that information about the new home center, and if they were interested in working with you to purchase a brand new home and getting their home listed and sold.
Yeah.
So
I like it. I think it's a great idea.
Good. Yeah. I know Lori Miller and I, who also work with us in our area, we did that. I think we did it with about actually 200 CMAs that we did over a few week program that we created as to, okay, we're going to do this for this amount of people in this neighborhood, and here's how we're going to try to reach them. So I'd be able to help you kind of build that more. So so that gives a little bit of a review for us as to uh, working your sphere and your farm and building it, and some of the things that Jen has shared as to what she's been doing over the last, say, 9 months, and working towards having better connections with a community that she's very familiar with. I've been a realtor for over 20 years and started my business with the foundation of Brian Buffini, which is all about working your sphere. But when I first started in real estate, I was not from the area. I had moved to California from Pennsylvania and knew very few people. But within a year of getting my license and working, I just immersed myself into my community, into the area I lived. And by doing that and becoming more involved, it started that aspect of people that I would meet. They would become, I hate referring to it as my database, but they would get put into my database. I would have all my notes written down of who I met through, whether it was my children's school or the Chamber of Commerce or my soccer program. I would work on putting all that information. At that point, it was on a spreadsheet and in a paper notebook, because this was before phones and this was before even laptops. So, once we've gotten into having better systems and these amazing programs that we have today, I still was consistent at writing things down. And I still reflect back on those notebooks once in a while. I'm like, oh, when I'm reading names of like all my families that I worked with through soccer and stuff. And then I look and I'm like, yep, they're still connected to me in some way or another. So building that database and building those connections is something that I believe to be one of the best pillars of building your business, because then as they start to get comfortable with you, whether they end up buying or selling, they will share your contact information and they will tell others and let others know about your service and how and why they should utilize you. So, recently I've even had referrals come in from agents. I have an agent that I used to work with. He lives in Ventura and he no longer wants to travel. He's kind of slightly retired, but he referred to me one of his clients that's selling in my area of Valencia. So even looking at realtors that lenders that anybody that has a business of building that database up and letting them know that you're open for business. I've talked about it in a few of our past sessions, but I make sure when I refer a business, I just referred my painter to one of my sellers. So I immediately text my painter, just want to let you know that I referred you to so and so, and I'm hopeful that they will reach out to you. So I do that with all of the companies that I refer, because I want them to know straight from me that I am thinking of their business. And then various times I do have the opportunity to say to them, please keep me in mind for all your referrals. So we're not talking about just homeowners, but we're talking about businesses and how to get referrals from other businesses and people that you refer. Have any of you done anything like that with other businesses? Anybody else want to open up the conversation here too? Tracy, Rose, Patsy, Dana, and Jen, you're welcome to chime back in at any time as well. So building your business by referral, it's more than just those connections in your farm community and the connections that you just make each and every day that you think are on the basis of homeowners, but it is on the basis of businesses that you are connected with. So shopping at the mall, utilizing services for your clients, making sure that you build that database too, I look at it as it's two different databases, not four, but two. It's two different databases that you should be working on. Your database of business referrals, and then your database of people that you want to make sure that you stay in touch with because you've had a connection of some sort with them, that they are learning and knowing that you are a realtor. And it's not just that you're a realtor, but they want to know that you're a realtor that they can trust. They know you, they trust you, and they will use you because you stay in front of them. So I want to thank you all for joining today. This is a nice snippet session that we have, just kind of talking through these different things. Does anybody have any questions based on what was shared today? Any questions or comments? All right. Well, I appreciate you all chiming in today. Thanks for joining us. Once again, my name is Cyndi Lesinski. And as you may know, I love to end our sessions with, remember, be kind, be nice, do an act of kindness that makes a difference in somebody's life. Wish you a great one.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you all. Thank you, Tracy. Thank you, Jen.
Thank you.
Thank you, Rose. Wish you all a great July.